This podcast is brought to you by Primary Arms. Primary Arms seeks to provide the best shopping experience for everything firearms. With over 13,000 products from over 400 top brands, Primary Arms carries a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearms parts, shooting gear, apparel, and more. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service backed by fast shipping and an expert support team. Primary Arms, serving freedom since 2008. Find out more at frn.deals/PA. Hello and welcome to the AR-15 podcast. This podcast is for you if you just bought your first rifle or if you've been building them for years. There is something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. Hey everybody, how are we doing? We are back after our short break.
Hiatus, yeah.
Short hiatus. I will take the blame for most of that, as getting my scheduling to be able to do this has been a little issue. And then about the time I got that figured out, I think you had some stuff going on back there.
Yeah, harvest is taking over my life, and we're a month in, and it's a month longer than I want. Well, it's like 2 weeks longer than I wanted to be in it, but right now there's no end in sight. So yeah, it's gonna be a long fall.
Well, those things will happen. And hopefully we'll be back to being able to do a weekly show again for you guys. My new schedule is kind of planing out, so that is a good thing. And we'll be able to keep providing content. So what have you been up to, Garth?
Man, what haven't I been up to? I've been trying to move a lot of stuff in the safe recently. Just my OCD is really taken over for my safe, and so things are trying to line up there in my head. And beyond that, it just like I said, harvest has been insane. We've been going full bore. We just got done with corn yesterday, and so now we're right into flowers, and hopefully we don't have any more rain because the drought is officially over, and we now get rain like every other day. So it sucks.
That is fair, but we did need the water when I left.
We needed it horrible. We did, but now it won't stop.
Fair enough. So have you been doing anything interesting with shooting lately?
With shooting, no. Still trying to get some targets built. I got a buddy in town who now welds, and so I had him build me a shooting plate rack. That turned out really nice, and so found a new design online for a tree where you shoot the top or you shoot the plate, and then it falls a foot. It's like 6 shots, and it'll come off the rack. But neat concept. So little gun swapping, and so he's going to build that for me this winter now. So.
Well, that'll be pretty rad when that gets going.
Yeah, pretty excited about that.
Right on. I haven't been doing a lot in the way of other things because I've been busy doing other things. But that's about all I'm going to say on that.
That's fair.
And nope. So with that, I know that I haven't even been really keeping track of news for new things and stuff like that because I have been kind of crazy busy.
No, I haven't paid too much attention to the latest greatest stuff coming out. I did see a deal for SHOT Show, and I was tempted to go because my EMT class fell through. I'm no longer doing that this winter, which I'm bummed about, and it could have been preventable, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So I could go to SHOT Show, but I was reading all the guidelines and regulations, and they're going to be masked up and everything like that. And it's just going to be a pain in the butt. So I think I'll wait another year before doing that.
Well, fair enough. I will not be able to attend any of the industry shows this year, so I will not be going as well. But we will still be have contacts there and be able to keep up on some coverage. I know I have a couple buddies that will definitely let us know if anything neat is there.
I think they will. Yep.
And so with that, I know that we don't have a guest or anything, obviously, this week. and we're coming to you kind of late on a Friday night.
Mm.
But, or well, for what most people will be late, it's not that late where I am, but it's still fairly late for a lot of the rest of the world.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Um, but so Garth, you had a topic for tonight that was a little bit different.
A little bit. It just kind of came to me the other day when I was looking into my safe and going, man, I know what I want, but with farming going the way it is and prices going through the roof, you don't have a lot of play money right now. So if you want something new in the safe, something's got to leave. And so I thought, hey, here's one for you. If you had to, now I'm not saying like to trade or sell or anything like that. I'm saying if you had to look at your safe inventory right now, what's one gun you could take out of there and not replace? And that would be a tough one because when I take a gun out, I always replace it with something else. I don't know if I could. Well, we're gonna talk about it and see which one I could do. But if you had to take one gun out and not replace it, what would that one gun be? Because I know every gun in your safe has a purpose. I know every gun in my safe has a purpose. So, which purpose is worth getting rid of?
So I had a chance to think about this for a while, and I have an answer, and it is a very much so a cop out answer
Mm,
for the first answer,
okay.
because the one that would be the easiest for me to get rid of and not replace would be my 9mm AR
Fair
that
enough.
is not completed yet.
Not, not all right. That's easy enough then. Sure.
You know, it's a receiver and a handful of parts that I could easily, oh, we can get rid of that one,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't really have any effect on anything, as well. That was going to be my newest fanciest, and it wouldn't be my backup or redundancy plan anymore.
Okay. Because you'd still keep the Beretta then, of course, I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to get rid of all my 9mm carbines.
Okay. Fair enough.
No, but that's too much of a cop out. And so I'd thought about that, and like the easiest one for me to get rid of would probably be my carry handle,
Mm,
my A2 style, like, carry handle with the carry handle mounted optic, because that is a novelty. Like, it is a range toy. It is a collector piece. It is a neat to have,
hmm
but realistically serves me no purpose for, hunting, competition, anything like that, other than I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I get that. So I think if I had to do it myself, and I've been going back and forth on the whole matter, and not saying I'm gonna because I sold a car to buy it, and I haven't shot it yet because that's how busy I've been. But I think I could honestly say the Scar 308 could leave my safe, and I wouldn't replace it. And for this reason alone, while I think a 308 is a nice piece of equipment to have in your safe, you can shoot exceptionally farther at a greater accuracy with a 308 than a 223. I always know in the back of my mind that there is someone who's a better shot with a bigger gun out there than I am. So while it would be cool to shoot accurately up to 500 yards or beyond, I know I'm not that guy that's going to be taking those kind of shots with it. So I could let that gun leave, and I would feel comfortable, saying adios to it, even though that's not going to happen, right? I mean, yeah, I would probably maybe change my mind because I'm going to go take it out Sunday and set it in. And Sunday, I might have a totally different feeling all about that. But right now, I can say the 308 could leave.
I too have a 308 AR that is definitely one that I could part with.
Mm.
Like my carbine, my 16-inch carbine 308, I could probably part with, as it was something I built to fill a niche,
Yeah.
and th- that niche is, you know, easily overlapped by a couple other things I have. But on the same token, I would probably do something like a piston drive 308 to
Hmm.
replace it.
Well, exactly. And that, as I was saying that, about letting the 3-way go, I'm like, man, I could buy like 3, 4 ARs with that money, but I'm like, oh well, can't replace it. But that's just the stupid question, of could you? And yeah, I think it's dumb if you're going to get rid of a gun and not replace it. That's just my take on it. I've got two of them actually laying on my table as we speak. I've got a Mossberg 12 gauge and I've got a 9mm PSA AR that are looking for new homes. Only because I've been talking to you about this for a while now. I think it's time to add a few more suppressors to the safe family as well. So
Yep, and that is fair. I know that when we get into this, we talk about it, and it's like, well, that was a short show, folks. That was all of 11 minutes for us to get through the topic and figure out things we'd get rid of.
yeah,
But in reality, again, like you said, it comes down to a use case, and a lot of gun guys will come down to this where we have a very, we carve out a need
mm,
for, this one rifle, or okay, this will work really good for this one scenario.
yep,
Like, I could very easily get rid of one of my competition rifles, and it would really, in the long scheme of things, I wouldn't need to replace it, because it's, oh well, I have one and it works well and does those things. But as someone who's a fan of redundancy, I kind of have two of a lot of things.
yeah. I'm right there with you. I actually nicknamed my safe the Ark because there's pretty much two of everything in it.
Yep, and that's one where you go through and you look at it. And now again, because we are the AR podcast, we're not talking about some of the other, like, bolt guns and things of that
Mm,
nature, because it's, I've got some that could very easily go down the road and never be replaced, but that role is already filled with another rifle.
yeah. No, I agree there. I mean, I have two bolt guns that I actually that are bigger than a 17 or 22 caliber. That they're the only two I have. And while I could easily replace them with ARs, I think there's a time and a place for a bolt action rifle. And I would like to keep those around, mainly for hunting. I mean, everyone says you can hunt with an AR, and I have hunted with an AR, but there's something nostalgic about going out with a bolt action. And especially, well, mine, they are equipped to take 30 round AR mags. The Ruger Predators or whatever. So they are equipped to take a 30 round mag, but they're also capable of taking a 5-round mag. And there's something about being accurate within 5 shots or less to hit a target and kill it for sport of, deer or antelope or what have you, coyotes hunting up here and stuff. So yeah, it's something I would not want to get rid of. I do cherish those two firearms. So
Yeah, but I can honestly say that in my entire lifetime, I've only ever traded one rifle. And other than that, I keep everything I buy. And the one rifle I traded was a rifle I absolutely purely disliked.
mm,
I didn't like anything about it. It didn't fit me right. It didn't. I mean, it shot okay, but just I didn't like anything about it. And I traded it to a guy because the stock was the right length, because it was a goofy length stock for his grandson, and it was a 30-06.
mm.
And I traded that for a Weatherby 223 bolt action. And that Weatherby 223 bolt action has sat in the back corner of my safe for probably 10 years. And I've thought about, oh, I should take this in and trade it in on, something else or do something with that.
Mm.
But then I'll be like, oh, well, it'd be a really good trainer rifle.
No, I hear you there. That's how I feel about some of the pistols I own. Like, oh man, I haven't shot that thing in 6 months. I should probably just send it down the way and get something else. And went, that would be a really good gun to learn on someday, though. Of course, you actually have people to teach. I am just alone here, just enjoying my cocktail. So
fair enough. I'm here enjoying my water.
And God bless you for it.
But no, so that is one of those where I think a better question would be, instead of rifles, we've talked about this before, and we've mentioned caliber standardization, and kind of touched on it a little bit when you said something. A better question might be, what caliber would you give up?
Oof. Man, now we're getting into it. I mean, obviously, you can't get rid of. For me, the two staples of my life are 223 9mm. So, I mean, that's a majority of the firearms I own. But I'd probably still go with 308. I just don't shoot it enough to miss it if it were gone. I've owned plenty of 308s over the years. I've owned 6.5s over that. I don't have a 6.5, so I can't say I could give up that because I already did. So, yeah, I guess it'd have to be the 308 at this point because, yeah.
See, I have another easy cop out there. I would give up my 40.
Well, I don't own one of those. I know better.
Well, I mean, I still technically own a 40, but it hasn't had a 40 caliber barrel in it for well over 8 years. And
That doesn't, that you can't use that one then. It doesn't work that way.
I know that one doesn't really count. You know what? And on things I actually use on a semi-regular basis, specifically to the AR, I would probably give up my 300 Blackout.
Oh yeah. I mean, if we lived in an area where hogs were more present, I don't think we could, but any varmint up here is going to fall to the 223 pretty easy. So we don't have those thick skin, big rootin' tootin' hogs running around. That'd be cool if we did, but at the same time, it would be awful. So
I was gonna say, I think you'd be singing a different tune if they were wallering in the middle of your field.
I know that. That's exactly what as it came out of my mouth, I went, no, that would be awful. It'd be like the jackrabbit population back in the 70s when everyone was going out and wiping them out by the truckload. Now, see one jackrabbit, oh yeah, and like, oh, I want to shoot at it, but then we'd have no jackrabbits.
Strange things.
Yeah.
Strange things. No, those are I thought about it, and I could never give up my 1911 or anything like that, so I can't really get rid of the 45, and I don't want to give up my 38s or 357s.
No, you can't do that, man. But here's the question on the 45: do you keep it because you actually shoot it, or is it because it's nostalgic and it took down a World War II airplane?
Well, I mean, back-to-back World War champs.
I get that. But the world's evolved, and 7 rounds isn't as many rounds as you think anymore.
No, it's one of those where that is now off of any type of. I do still carry it on occasion,
Mm-hmm.
and it is mostly for nostalgia and sentimental reasons.
Here's a question for you on the topic of 45s, which is 1911s, I should say. Is it still a 1911 if it's a 9mm? I know we're the AR-15 podcast, but that popped in my head real quick.
It is. It is. Like, I would go and say it is because they do make a 9mm 1911.
I've seen them. I actually owned a pair of ordnance for a while, and that was okay. But
So Seth just commented he would give up his 6.5 Grendel or his 450 Bushmaster.
yeah, but
Now,
we should ask Seth what he does with those. Does he hunt a lot, or
well, so 6.5 Grendel is one of those kind of interesting rounds that has, like, it first came out quite a while ago,
Mm.
and the case dimensions of it are kind of interesting because it's almost a neck down 7.62 by 39, if my memory serves me 100% correct, which it might not. But it actually, I know, if only I had a device in front of me where I could look that up.
on the interwebs? Yeah.
But the 6.5 Grendel has saw a lot of resurgence, and a lot of that is thanks to the 6.5 Creedmoor world. And yep, I was correct. It is a properly necked. It's 6.5 by 39, so you can use that. And I know that there are people who do neck it down off of the 7.62 by 39. So I thought that was the case, and a lot of people use them for long range shooting. And like especially silhouette shooting with an AR, that's become a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, well, like Seth just said, he uses it for target and hunting with the 450 Bushmaster and 12 gauge for deer.
Oh,
So
he must be an Eastern boy.
Yep, must live in one of those shotgun units that uses a straight wall cartridge, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I know that several years ago when I toured Black Rain, one of their most popular rifles was a pistol in 450 Bushmaster. Ohio, yes, straight wall cartridge land. So that is 100% a normal thing. I could always look into that new 350 Legend as well, which is a cartridge I have not gotten into, but we have friends who have. And it is a very unique cartridge, and I kind of want to learn more about it, but on the same token, I'm quite all right just leaving it be.
Yeah. I mean, there's always someone go, hey, have you tried this caliber yet? No, I haven't. Why not? It doesn't float my fancy. I'm sorry. There's just calibers I'm not going to know anything about. Sorry, I can't help you.
Yep, that is well, obviously I am in a little bit different position than you are, and have had to learn how to make those guns run, and they do work incredibly well. Like I've seen them, take game and things of that nature, and that when you're putting out a heavy pill out of a that makes it a very comparable rifle, and I would call it like a 357 Ultra Mag. Would be the easiest way to put it, because you're still putting out that same 357 caliber bullet, because since a 9mm and an AR have these, or sorry, not an AR, a 5.56 or 223 have the same case head size. They work so well, so it's a non-neck down, it has no shoulder or neck, and it's just a straight wall 357. So you're looking at, I want to say, almost a half-inch more case capacity. But you're still putting those, I think they have projectiles up to 200 grains or higher. So you're putting some thumping down.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to get one and go incredibly on the other end of the spectrum for heavy and just make them subsonic, because, man, that would be fun suppressed. But there again, we get into like 100% special use case. Like my 300 Blackout I talked about that I'd be willing to get rid of because I don't think I've ever shot supersonic ammunition out of it.
Yeah.
You know, that's for shooting things when I need to be really, really quiet.
There are times that needs to happen. So, I just pulled something up on my phone here, and I don't have the link capability to share it with you, but I will show you and the users or listeners out there, because we were talking about oddball, cartridges, and this isn't at all. This is a 9mm, but man, I think this would be something fun and useful for the safe. I'm not really sure if you guys can check that out right there.
Oh, that's your lever action 9mm AR.
Yeah, I can't believe they actually make it. Now this would be something fun for the safe. 100%.
Well, do they actually produce that, or is that like a?
No, I looked them up. They're a legit company, but they're overseas. And so now overseas, I don't know how that works because I've never bought anything from overseas. It's always been imported. I mean, you can get imported guns into the United States, but buying one from a company over there, I don't know how that all translates out.
There are. I'll talk with you about it another time. We might be able to actually make something like that happen
Oh dear Lord.
on a short notice import for like a limited number of like 1 or 2 a year.
Oh well. I bet we could sell them just on the crazy fact that they're a lever action 9mm AR.
Well, the question is, I want to know how much they cost before we even talk about that.
I don't know what the translation is from pounds, but I think they were listed like 1,300 or 1,500 pounds.
That's gonna be well over $2,000, I think.
Yes, I don't know.
I don't know exactly because, like, I do things in freedom fractions.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and of course, everyone's like, "Well, why would you want one of those when you can have a semi-auto?" I'm like, "Because it's a lever action AR. Some things you just don't need to explain."
yes, but there's also some things where just because you can doesn't mean
should.
you should.
I know, that's what I've been talking about recently with getting rid of stuff in my safe. I've been toying with the idea of a lever action 223 Henry. Do I need one? No. Do I want one? Absolutely.
Fair. I know that years ago, Michael Bain did a project where he did a 50-state legal rifle that he could take with him when he traveled. And he used a BLR takedown, a Browning BLR takedown that he had tuned up because it used a detachable magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he even had some custom magazines made for it so that he could have a 223 caliber rifle with him in all jurisdictions.
Oh. That'd be neat to see.
I can probably pull up a picture of the Browning BLR, and which again is about as far a departure as we can get from the.
Sometimes you just can't get rid of the AR. I know we started out by saying that, but realistically, I'm not getting rid of any ARs. I could get rid of a 22, maybe. I don't know though. I like those things too. You really sold me on those Wranglers right away when they came out. Like I wasn't sure on them, and then I bought one, and holy crap, those are some sweet shooting guns.
See, now there's a problem with this next thing here, Garth.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to show you a picture. You're going to abandon your other thoughts.
Well, okay.
And you're going to get mad at me.
That's never happened.
Well, Paul's going to get mad at me.
Well, Paul's going to get mad at you.
So I will do a share screen here.
Sorry for the dead air.
Oh no, that's while you're chewing ice, I will pull this up.
There it is.
So if you
look
at this, so that's a takedown. Comes with a threaded barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And
who makes that?
Browning. That's a current production rifle.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's the magazine capacity on that? Since the box mag.
I would have to look that up because I don't remember.
4+1, I'm guessing.
Well, I know that they sell a couple different versions of that, and since we can talk about it a little bit, since it's still the not the ELR show.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. Wow. Wow. That's sharp. Oh, proud of those.
yep,
Proud of those.
it is a 4+1, and yes, they're definitely
But it is threaded. That's a nice plus because yeah, the Henry's not. And I did find one one custom shop that would perform surgery to make it threaded, but that's yeah, I'm a little mad at you right now.
those things happen. I know where things are
Yeah,
and or what things are.
yeah, that's probably gonna happen someday. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Okay,
Anyway,
so moving on from
yeah,
those.
moving on. Oh my gosh.
So, do you have any other projects you're going to have in the works here? Because right now, that's about all I can do is plan projects for down the road.
Yeah, projects. Yeah, getting those suppressors lined up. I've been looking in the Yankee Hill suppressors. I know you're a huge fan of those guys. They do some quality work. I looked into some whip machining suppressors as well, and I was not upset with them. I mean, that's a quality can for $300. So I mean, you're $505 into it if you go that route. The Yankee Hills are a little bit more at just around 650, but also a nice quality can with a ratchet on system. So yeah, looking at a lot of suppressors right now to make guns quieter, so I can shoot more steel at the farm. I've been trying to build a pistol range, and I've been enhancing the rifle range out there, and just yeah, enjoying some bench time.
Well, that's good. I mean, those are good things to do because you're still getting out and training and shooting and honing some skills. Because well, we do concentrate a lot on you know you could call it sport shooting or competitive shooting, defensive shooting, things like that. Focusing on the fundamentals is still really good.
Hmm.
And a lot of people have said, and it's an adage for a reason, where slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Unless you're trying to work on competition stuff where you're really trying to build speed and accuracy,
Mm-hmm.
it is almost always easier to build accuracy and then build speed.
Yes, 100%. That's one thing that the more seasoned guys were preaching a lot to me because I like to go fast, but my groupings were awful, and that's where it killed me competitively on time because I was hitting in C zone, D zone, and while they might have went slower than me, they were hitting A zone, double A zone, and man, that is one thing they preach is, hey, take your time, especially with your follow up shots, and the speed will come later. And that's one thing I'm trying to work on out at my range this year is or this off season, I should say, is accuracy over speed.
Yep, because that is again one of those things where being able to re- make a shot repeatably is definitely very important. And it's reliable repeatability would be the biggest thing. Making sure that you're constantly able to do those shots and get that quick follow-up shot, but a lot of that comes from understanding your fundamentals.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more.
And that is where, now there is a time to learn to go fast, and that's when you're doing the competition shooting, because there's only one way to learn how to shoot fast, and that is by shooting fast.
Thanks, Dr. Phil. You nailed that.
I mean, I try. I
Yeah,
really,
you got
really try sometimes.
Fine. We're fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything's fine.
Well, we talked about Primary Arms, and I know this will be the second time that you will have seen something before I have touched it or only seen it in pictures. But what about our friends over at Patriot Patch Company?
I haven't got the new patch of the month yet. I am excited because I was on their site not too long ago, and I had about $200 worth of patches, and I just had to put the phone down and went, no, I can wait. But yeah, our friends over at Patriot Patch Company, they do a fantastic job with their PVC patches and their computer pads or gun mat pads, as well as their T-shirts now, which I still wish they carried them in barbecue sexy size, because I would probably order more of those than I have. So that's something we'll have to talk to Jake about.
Yep, we'll see if we can't get them in large American sizes.
Yeah.
Yep, and then with that, speaking of T-shirts, make sure that you can look and order fine ones like the one I am wearing, and you can get that from our Teespring store, and that would be pretty rad as well. You can walk around rocking some AR-15 podcast merch, and then of course clicking through all of our affiliate links. The Palmetto State Armory, the Faxon Firearms. Do you know Faxon Firearms is now making 22 receivers for a 1022?
Really wish you hadn't told me that. No, it just dawned on me that, I should be on Faxon, because I've been looking for a 1022 barrel, and duh.
Yeah, so they make 1022 barrels and receivers now.
Yeah, because I got rid of my Smith recently. Well, because I traded it to that guy who's going to weld me a new target, and now I need to turn my Ruger 1022 into my competition gun, and I really want one of those lightweight bull barrels on there, because those look fantastic. And so, I think I'm going to have to pay our friends over at Faxon a visit.
Yep, and make sure if you're doing stuff like that, you click through our affiliate link.
Yeah.
Help support the show you love, and or mildly tolerate and find somewhat entertaining. However you want to phrase it.
Yeah.
So Garth, I don't have a lot to add to this show this week. I know that we're just getting back into the swing of doing recordings, and we wanted to do kind of a light topic this time, just because as we're getting back into the swing of things and back to recording, we'll have guests coming on again soon after some more schedule stuff gets definitely finalized.
Yeah, no, we wanted to have just a lighthearted episode and let you guys know we're back. We didn't forget about you, and thanks for your patience. And so I guess if you have any moans, groans, concerns, you can reach out and find us at the AR15 Podcast 2.0 at gmail.com or AR15 Podcast on Facebook, AR15 Podcast 2.0 on Instagram. And we do appreciate you guys being patient. We're back, and we'll pump some episodes out, and we'll have a little bit more in-depth conversation here in the future. We just wanted to have a little fun tonight. So
yep, and again, thanks for being understanding. As I think a lot of our listeners figured out there was some things happening going through the with our timing and what's going on with just life in general, where there's a reason I am not in our normal studio, and neither are you. So
yeah,
this will probably be what my half of the studio looks like for a little while yet, and sometime in the next year or so, we'll be back in the regular studio.
You bet.
Allegedly.
Oh,
and before we leave, we had one more talking about our sponsor from the top. So Seth said that he recently ordered some stuff from Primary Arms. My order had some mounting hardware missing. They're quick to ship it out, and I thank them for supporting you guys. Thank you so much for that, Seth. Make sure that if you are working with these companies or anything like that, or you appreciate them sponsoring this show and the content, that you reach out to them and say, hey, thanks for sponsoring the show, because that lets them know that you are definitely hearing about them from us, and they appreciate knowing that, and we appreciate you doing it.
You bet.
So, Garth, you got anything to add, bud?
No, it's happy trails until we meet again, and there it is.
All right. Well, I'm still not singing, and you guys out there, you stay safe and stay armed.